Soul Productions present street topics, and you don't want to get caught slipping. You don't know what topics they're going to serve you, from current events to politics, for topics that they don't even want to talk about. From old
You
school
know, when we run out
remedies.
of medicine, grandma have our remedies. But I'm not gonna lie. One remedy that I wish I could remember exactly what she had, but she mixed something together. And when by the time I got through with that, I must have been the most drunk. I felt drunk. I know I didn't understand what drunk, but now that I look back,
Heated topics causing
Super
disagreements.
negative because that's what all of y'all like. It's just very heavy and negative.
Well,
So
you need
we're
to go
all
get on
sitting have
another
emotional
show. You need to get
conversations
yourself.
when we're just
You need to
bashing
get
each other.
yourself on another show. We ain't negative, woman, girl.
No matter how heated the conversation may get, these gentlemen always come back together with solutions.
Better than this. You got to learn how to respect each other, respect each other's differences. You know, we're not supposed to all think alike.
Tune in every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Subscribe so you can stay connected to Soul Productions and Street Topics.
What's up, everyone? It's another episode of Street
Street
Topics, and you
Topics.
see this Street Topics where we keep it raw and real and hit the controversial topics that you are afraid to talk on. But that's what it's all about. It's your host, C. Holmes, as always. And then I have my guest by the name of Ja Sid.
What are you talking about?
Go ahead and get the gunshots going. We got to go ahead and load it up. Let me go ahead and run this go shots. He gonna come on, shoot fire, and bullets at all time because wait. We got one other person that's showing up. He in the backstage, but he's back on front center. Wait.
My boy Baker's in the house.
How my brethren doing? Good to see y'all.
We doing good,
man.
Doing good in the neighborhood.
the neighborhood.
In the neighborhood.
Man, oh man, in the neighborhood.
Man.
And
Now,
I want to apologize to you that I was rushing to get to that foolishness this week, and I just couldn't make it do what it needs to do in a timely fashion so you can get in. But I got a plan for the future.
Hey, that's what it's all about. We learn and keep going, move forward, and get better.
I needed you too, man.
But hey, man,
good to see y'all.
It's good to see you. But you know, I this hot topic right here.
Ooh, man, when I made this post, it ruffled some feathers. Oh, I'm gonna read verbatim what I put in this post, and it rubs some teachers the wrong way. But keep in mind, I'm in the education as well. But
Okay, but see, you got to say that again, because some people in this topic, some people will assume you're not in that.
Oh, he that one. Yeah, I'm in the education as well. So here's what I said, and I had good intentions of this. I said, thinking teachers don't make money is trash. I know some make 6 figures now. They take their money and invest in themselves. You can do whatever you put your mind to with a money sign emoji. That was meant to be encouraging. And then I got serious backlash. I was confused. They were like, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't make no kind of money and much more. And I was like, yes. But at the same time, it's what you do with the money. That was in my mindset. Because what I saw in the comments was an automatic victim mentality of like, why me? But before I play the video, what is y'all first impression from this? Because I'm seeing, and I've actually talked to other educators who took their salary, and keep in mind, the average household income, I think by the census is probably about, for a household, is about 60, 70, 80,000. And you got schools paying about like 60, 70, 80.
Yeah, it's based on the level of degrees and experience and how long you've been in the school district. That's what that money is going to be based on.
You got first time teachers, like I know one school starts off at 60 grand. And another one even higher. But yeah, go ahead before I play this video. What did you want to add on to that for your first thought? We really dive into this.
To be honest with you, I have so many thoughts, and it can be going in so many different directions in regards to this topic. And there's both sides. Both sides have a valid point, but there's only one point right now until we see the video is live within your means.
Wait. I think you got to say that again for the people in the background because they're gonna be like,
Live
no, you can
within
just.
your means.
You know, that's gonna hurt somebody real hard right there. Like, what you talking about? You know about my lifestyle.
It's the truth. I mean, especially if you're talking about black folks. You know, Bacon and I had it on in the Trenches podcast talking about how black people can spend in trillions of dollars in 1 year. So if you can spend that much money in 1 year, why you can't save the money that you're spending in that year? And then, because as I was always told and explained, which makes sense, that broke niggas always want to look rich, and the rich people always look broke.
Oh Lord. You already
That's
throwing some
powerful.
bombs, but Beck, you have anything to say about this? Because
No, I'm just
I know
concurring
Scoop
with
about
it
to be mad.
because we must learn to teach our people how to turn it down.
Exactly.
And Jashim said it so well that the rich people look poor and the poor people look rich.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Say
simply
that again
because
for the people in the
the
back.
rich man understands the dollar and what to do with it. He knows it's not to be eaten, it's not to be worn, it's to be put to use. $600 purse on your arm don't mean nothing.
You living in an apartment,
Well, it's all right to
Oh,
be in an apartment,
but for
yeah.
$600 for a purse,
yeah,
well, that
because
$600 can be invested in something else to make you more money.
yeah,
So you eventually can afford that purse and more purses. You know, that's the how.
I
That's
just
Unless
that's
kept
you,
that's
thinking,
the way I look at it.
unless you're the person making a
and
fortune of it,
maybe
but
it's
hey,
something to help these women that suffer from very low self-esteem and they need something to elevate their
you know,
value.
you open up a whole
Well,
box full of different.
that if that's the case, then women that's like that, maybe they need to, as the old folks say, when I grew up, maybe they need to come to Jesus.
A reality check.
Yeah. We're in a different generation now.
All right, so
Yeah,
play a
and
good
I
chunk of
learned.
this.
Go ahead.
So I know we're gonna dive way more into this, and then we are kind of like at the top of it. We're gonna go deeper into what y'all just said, but I'm gonna play a video from YouTube from a person that has some solid points of how you can actually make some money as an educator, and then we're gonna pretty much throw our own pretty much a spin off of it. So y'all check this out. It's ready. Here we go. Got to get the state rolling.
Teachers, beacons of knowledge, purveyors of wisdom, hope for the next generation, and the unexpected top 5 profession of millionaires.
Hey, talking so fast.
If I had known that Miss Duderstadt was rolling in the Benjamins, I would have spent less time sleeping in social studies and more time getting all the deets on how to build up fast stacks of cash. Now, I think I can speak for all of us when I say teachers should be paid double in respect and in money for what they have to put up with, especially you saints in the trenches of middle school and the odors. Oh, the odor. You can't mask it with Axe. Doesn't work like that. But since most teachers don't have giant salaries, how is it that they're consistently one of the most likely professions to become millionaires? Well, I'll give you my take. But first, I'm conducting my own social study to see how many likes and subscribes we can get from today's video. So go on and prove my hypothesis that, well, I can't tell you because it'll skew the results. Okay, for starters, I think one of the biggest benefits teachers have when trying to reach that millionaire milestone is they have the ability to increase their income through side hustles. For teachers, they have holidays and summers to double up on income and bring in some extra cash. And I'm not just talking about side gigs here. There's things they can do at school, like tutoring, coaching, and summer school. That can be huge to help them build wealth and hit their financial goal. Another reason I think teachers are able to become millionaires is because they choose practicality over luxury. Most teachers are not trying to impress their friends and family with all the stuff they have, the cars they drive, in their houses. They're simply trying to survive. Have you been in a classroom? That's why they're not rolling up in luxury cars to the school parking lot. Most because they know that they're going to get sideswiped by Becky's new Beamer that her daddy got her for her birthday. You're 16. You don't deserve a brand new luxury car. Sorry. Okay, maybe I got a little carried away. Teachers are realistic about their financial situation, so they don't care as much about status. And you know what? If they do have a few extra $100, they're rarely spending it on themselves and on luxury items. They're using it to buy supplies and decor for the classroom because the schools won't pay for it. Do better, schools.
Please change your behavior.
All right. Another reason I think teachers are able to build wealth is because they're really good at getting creative and stretching a dollar. They know that one man's trash is another man's theory of relativity. I mean, just look at this thing. I mean, what a great visual that clearly explains that the laws of physics are the same for all, and that space and time are interwoven with the speed of light remaining constant, leading to effects like time dilation and the warping of space-time near massive objects. And yet I got a D. This is a social studies class. Don't bring that crap in my classroom. I don't care. It was art. And you destroyed it. You destroyed it, Miss Duderstadt. How is that even a name? Miss Duderstadt. You got a light? No, I don't have a light. I'm in 4th grade. Anyways, along with being creative, teachers are great at committing to a proven, structured plan. They do it every day with syllabus and curriculums. Teachers have to look at the big picture. And in teacher land, that's called the scope and sequence. Literally, what do I want to achieve? Scope. And what steps do I need to take to get there? Sequence. Then they break those steps into lesson plans to make sure they're aligning daily with their scope and sequence. And this systematic approach ensures that they cover all the material and ultimately they won't miss the mark. If you want to build wealth, it takes being intentional and resourceful with every single dollar in your budget. And having the same approach will make sure that you don't miss the mark on your financial goals. All right, this next one is key. So pencils down and eyes up here. Teachers tend to excel at investing because they have a great long-term perspective. I mean, teachers get to see those scrawny little insecure freshmen grow into a scrawny, still somewhat insecure senior, but with a great personality and a sense of humor. Didn't love my senior superlative, but it is what it is. Anyway, here's why this is key. There are way too many social media gurus and wealth strategists selling snake oil, claiming you can get rich quick overnight with their course or their crappy insurance product. But obviously, they never sat through Mrs. Perez's AP Stats class. If they had, they would know that only 5% of millionaires got their $1 million in under 10 years. So that means 95% of millionaires had to have serious patience for over a decade. And who has more patience than a 4th grade teacher the day after Halloween on a full moon? Nobody.
All right, so that is a good spill.
Chris, is it us? Joshing? Is he asleep?
No.
He's waiting.
There you go.
Oh, shit.
Sleepy Joe, wake up.
Go.
Now,
Shit,
is it just me or is it Chris' video? That video was fast forwarding.
Yeah, that video was.
That was regular pace. It was regular pace though.
It was fast on my end.
It was very fast.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand anything he was saying. But I got some of the stuff that I was writing. And Chris, your video, you're fast forwarded. It's like you're on a speed level when you're talking. So we want to fix that. I don't know. Or is that something you're doing?
That's regular on my end.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Did you hear the same, Joshim? If you could concur so we can fix it?
Yeah, it's a little bit with a little bit of popping every time. Chris speaks, I hear popping on my end.
That's what I'm hearing, popping too. And we'll come down like his videos. You must be on something new tonight, some new dope or something.
This is dope. This is roll with the dope, but like,
there it is. It's going real fast, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's going fast.
It sounds computer generated.
Well, I know one thing in regards to what I did able to catch in this video. He has some valid points, but the other points that he's not explaining is some teachers, depends upon what district, the superintendent put pressures on the teachers to make sure these kids pass the course. So they feel pressure to buy, not all, but they do feel pressure to purchase these supplies that the school should be purchasing, or in fact, the people that really should be purchasing these supplies really are the parents. And so
they don't want to take accountability.
Yeah, so the parents not taking accountability, and if they need help, they need to. A closed mouth don't get fed. You need to open up your mouth if you need some type of help in that area. There's always some type of a community organization that can assist a family that may need help in getting the supplies. Matter of fact, to be honest with you, and me being part of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, we help kids in that arena who needs like backpacks, or if they need some tablets and stuff like that. So there's no reason or no excuse for the kids not to have a supply, and for the kids themselves not to be able to be ready to learn and to be educated on that level. So the parents, I would say the educators should not have to spend the money that they're spending. And if they are spending the money because the district is not providing the necessary equipment for these kids to succeed, then it's still, in a sense, the teacher's fault, because the teachers can come together, because there are teacher union, and they can come together, and whether they are going on strike or whatever the case may be, because they have that control and that power. So if that took place, then this whole idea will be a different dynamics, in my opinion. And the only reason why I'm saying it is because I was once in the school district. I, my all the females in my family are all educators. They all teachers in different grade level. So it's not like I'm speaking and not knowing. I'm speaking because I do know, been there, done that, and don't want to do it again because of different generations. I just can't deal with them because parents are not holding their kids accountable. But
Just they
let me
definitely
digress.
not nowadays.
Right. So let me digress. Far as the finance, some teachers I have seen want to be broke, but want to look rich to impress people. And it doesn't work that way. I've known family members who are educators, like I mentioned, that will take their money, they call themselves investing, but they will go to the casino.
And how's that investing? It's a whole pretty much it's a debt, and that's what I'm
But
talking about.
but you have some of these educators that do things like that, to of wasting their money versus taking the money, putting it in
And
mutual
then,
funds, and then every year, every month, however that works in their budget. And the thing about it, as Baker probably would agree, in the black community we need to understand budget. But when we're talking about educators, they educators need to understand budget. They might teach about math and science and all this other,
but
but
budgeting
how
is
are
the
you
biggest thing,
applying
and
everyday life into your own life so that
exactly,
way you can get ahead?
and that's one of the things that I keep bringing up, because it seems like anytime we bring up the word budget, it's like an offense, and it shouldn't be considered or looked down upon that way. If you are bringing at least a minimum 60, 70, 80 grand, you should not have any issues at all, unless you have some serious things going around. But if you take that money and put it into the right places, and you're not trying to pretty much spend it like the Jones, you're not always looking at the top name brands and doing things, and staying within your means, you should have plenty of amount of money to invest in yourself, or like we were saying, the mutual funds, invest into a
Right.
business, or into something so you can have some kind of asset that actually makes the money flow. Now,
And
when you start
that's
saying
the way
that,
it's supposed to go. The money is designed, which is, there's no such thing as currency. Is just, if they look at the old episodes of In the Trenches, I send a link where it explains how money is. Money is just another form of how can I say, it's another form of an IOU. It has no value,
mhm,
but we mentally place value because the private banks mentally place value so they can become richer. Uh, and so that's one of the things. And also want to let you know, just check your connection is a bad connection. Baker is having a difficult time in hearing, and so just make sure you, because it's a bad.
Is it just on my end, Jashim? Let him know so Chris can, because this
Now,
is a very good topic.
it's on my end. I can still hear the popping and stuff like that when every time he speaks, and then when he in the response, it's
Yeah,
fast.
and it
Short,
sounds like it's rewinded fast.
yeah.
So maybe it's something, Chris, on the connection. Maybe refresh it. But while Chris is looking at that, I want to make a statement. Is that Soul Production is a supporter of teachers. Joshim in the Trenches broadcast is a supporter of teachers, and we want them to succeed, and we want all the support that we can get to go towards teachers and elevating them, because at the end of the day, if you're teaching people to become great and successful, you ought to just make just as much money as they're going to make in the future when you get through teaching them. And therefore, we cannot minimize what teachers do, regardless of what they have to sacrifice. I've always known for years of teachers. I had many in my church. I got many in my family. I have a family member that's immediately family that is a school teacher. And yes, sometimes the school system doesn't supply them with everything they need to be successful and function. And school teachers have to reach in their pocket and their bosom and cover the costs. And that's why I think that they shouldn't have to do that, when parents should kick in and say, oh yeah, my kid go here. Don't show up to the school with 1 box of cookies. You show up with 12 boxes of cookies or 30 boxes of cookies to cover everybody in the class. Don't come up there and give 1 pencil, you have multiples. And we need to, that's a community effort. As for the teacher's salary, I think they should get paid just as much as a doctor or lawyer get.
I agree.
So with that said, this is good. Now I never question anything. If you look at the word salary, it's where we get the word salt, and that comes from the word in the Bible where they say, "Are you worth your weight in salt?" Okay, salt is salary. Salt is money. Okay, and so the salt of the salary ought to be very up there because of the education and what we're doing to and for our children.
I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying in regards to the importance of teachers, and I don't understand. And then two, I don't. My thing is, pay them what they're worth. If they don't get paid 6 figures, that's fine, but pay them what they actually worth is the biggest thing that I see fit. But at the same time, educators need to learn how to live on a budget. And because living on a budget, you have some that making, let's use the example, 60,000 a year, but they want to live in a $300,000 house.
Well, here's the thing.
And that, let me say something about that real quick.
Don't have enough money when it comes to
all comes down to
may come with that, where you start off small, just like a rich person. You build yourself up to the
and
point.
that's why they got all the money, because they stay within their means.
If you can't afford living in a ritzy area, but you don't want to be in a low income area, then something in the middle. But don't just it's just like a baby that was born just want to jump up and start running, but don't know how to crawl, don't know how to walk, don't know how to stand.
That's pride. Pride and ego.
And I'm not saying all educators are like that, but there are quite a few that have that.
I think the dynamics works like this. Okay, guys, I get it. I understand where we're trying to go. But at the end of the day, we can't regulate what people do with their money, because sometimes people spend money for 30.
You know what? I agree with that, but don't be complaining and then you can finish what I'm saying, but don't be complaining and bitching when you're in broke because of your own choices.
Now you call that cussing out, because I want to send this video.
This is a raw podcast. This is a raw podcast. There's a lot more cussing, but that's the truth about it. Don't be complaining and bitching when you actually made your choice and decision to put yourself in that situation. Accept accountability for it. Nobody chose you to get this expensive house or expensive car or all these name brand things to put yourself in that kind of situation.
And all teachers do not do that. Here's what I think should take place. If we want to teach the teachers something, the day this teacher went back to school, all right, if we want to teach them something, is this: the more you make, the less you spend. The more you make,
fundamental thing.
Live like you poor. The more you make, live like you ain't got it. The more you make, plug it away in a rainy day fund.
That's how they get the wealth.
What?
And at the end of the day,
The more
You
Uncle
don't
Sam.
want to be like us working in our 70s and 80s.
Mm-hmm. Because
Because a
sadly,
lot of teachers here don't have a teacher retirement. You got to get that. And a
yeah,
lot of
That's
people don't
scary,
understand
and
that.
that's true.
and then you don't get the full 100% of your retirement, just like in the military.
Well,
You
I
retire,
don't think there's a teacher's retirement if there's a different program they have, brother.
right? But
Yeah.
with the teacher retirement, even though the program is different, they don't get the full amount. If I remember correctly, if it hasn't changed, it might have changed because I know they always changing
Mm.
stuff. Um,
I will still say, like, from what I've been,
Got to work so
especially in
many
as
years, and then some of them are already ready to give up, and they still trying to hang in there to try to get that extra whatever.
yeah, retirement.
Yeah.
What I think, I will agree with this. There are still educators that's complaining about the retirement. What I think has to happen is I wish there was more education about this. You have to find outside means or resources to do your own or invest in your own kind of retirements, because just depending on your employer is like a screw job. You're putting your life and what you expect for like a safe haven in the hands of an employer, and which probably don't have any kind of good or best interest in your own self. So I feel like at
Listen,
times we have to look outside of that to regain back in control. But nobody's
the
going to teach
worst
you.
thing that, look, the brother, listen, we have to come to the facts about things if we're going to be a show that's going to give information to help people. If this is what this podcast is about tonight, then we must speak the truth and understand something. The public school system is a doomsday project. It's at its end. One of the largest school districts is HISD.
Yeah,
I'm
it
an
is.
advocate for that. It should be abandoned. It should be shut down. It should be closed. Excuse me. Excuse me. Parents should give their kids a better opportunity by getting your children. People, listen. Get involved in charter schools. Get
Mm-hmm.
rid of HISD in the public school system. It's not doing your children no justice.
Mm-hmm.
It's not educating them. Get in the charter school. Get in the program where they're having teaching a trade. All this crap.
Trades are definitely important nowadays.
Yeah, all this crap they teaching your kids now, it ain't gonna benefit them when they get into the real world. The
No, it's
education
not.
system, if I was king, I would cut out. I would get rid of the educational system as far as what we know it. It's trash. Look at all the fraud they're doing. Did y'all watch the news today, Mr. Producer?
Oh, the recent with the certifications of the teachers.
Yeah,
I
why
got
don't you
somebody like
play that
email.
video? Why don't you put that? You put the white man up there talking whatever he was saying. Put that video up where they up there. They got that Negro up there and they're playing and they selling out the people. See, it's a game, people. Everything is triggered by that money. Okay, and we got to do better by our children and our grandchildren.
That's true. Because we have no right technically to complain about the education system when you go to the hospital or go to your doctor's office and you see someone from another country, more of them than you see of us because of the
Mm-hmm.
and not only that, if you look at the tests that was given to kids in the early 1900s in your child's grade level and give them that same test now, there's no way they will be able to pass that. So every year, in my opinion, it is designed for our kids and the generation to become dumber so they can be more subservient. But if you're not paying attention, if you're not involved in your child, you're not teaching things to your child that are not being taught in school, then you as well are just as guilty as the teacher to a certain point.
All right,
That
so like I'll put a quick pause and hopefully I don't have no issues. But I have that video with the scandal. About to pull that up.
Yeah, let's pull that one up.
Chief Black, it's Newberry live at the Harris County Criminal Justice Center with how this elaborate scheme works.
Chris, it still sounds fast forwarded. Terrell, would you concur with me or not?
yeah.
Actually, a pretty scheme.
Stop it, Chris.
It's going fast, Chris.
Chris, stop it. It doesn't make sense. It's like a cassette tape rewinding.
Yeah.
So it ain't no, because nobody can understand.
Okay,
Joshua,
so
you
this
have to
what
let
we're
him
going.
know
This
that
all right, all right, all right, all right.
with you.
So, all right, quick director edit. So what I'm going to do, it plays regular on my end, and what I'll redo is re-upload everything because it plays
Okay.
normally on my end. Oh, wait.
Yeah, because
So,
it's a good video.
so I got you. So what I'm saying is like everything's playing normal on my end. I don't know if it's internet on somebody's side, but like it plays normal on my end. So we're going to continue with a
So
dialogue
Chris, so
without
you
the video.
know, it's good
Yeah, I
stuff.
got you.
It's not me, and that's why I try to get Joshua to
I got you.
concur.
I got you.
If
So,
it's on my
so
end, I'll
I got,
say okay.
I got you. I got you. So we can just
Yeah.
continue. So let's go ahead with the dialogue, and then
Sure.
it's going to
Sure.
play
Go right
regular on
ahead.
my end. So with
Now-
that, we have the whole scandal going on, of course, with the false test and much more. So what do y'all feel about that?
So we'll repeat that again.
So we have like pretty much false certification with the educators, and I'm gonna have to pretty much read it off. I was trying to play the video. I don't know why it's act like that.
Well,
But basically, there's a lot of. Go ahead.
Well, to me, if it's a false certification, okay, that's like a double-edged sword in my eyes. And what I mean by that, when you're looking at HISD, what's the difference in HISD trying to hire people that have no certification?
Because it happens all the time.
So, what's the difference? Only thing is one falsified document, which I understand that because that's illegal, but it's both still don't have the certification. But HISD, we use an HISD because, like Baker said, is one of the largest school district in Houston. Look at what they're doing.
And keep in mind they are shouting out that they need teachers.
But the
On top
problem,
of it.
but the problem is the fact that one, teachers not paid enough. Two, you're putting the wrong people in the wrong position, like what's going on now with HISD, and that's causing problems. And then three, even an attorney has to have a continuing education program on certain things that they specialize in. For example, if you're going to do claims for veterans, right, and you're an attorney, it's required by the government that you have a continuing education, so you stay fresh, you stay new on the information, anything that might change. I have not seen, I have not heard if there's anything of such for as teachers or educators in that same level. So, in other words, if a teacher is end up getting a degree, they apply, they get certified and all that, okay, what changes have been made that they are being educated to know that they need to adjust and adapt to the new way? Are they having buy-ins to the new way that since they on the front line, they would know what will work and not work? And that goes back to hiring and putting people in the wrong positions and not using their talent.
Well, I think what you have to understand. Listen. I know we're trying to have a good intellectual show tonight, and I get it. But at the end of the day, HISD stinks. HISD school system is corrupt. Hold on.
I agree.
It's corrupt. It's rotten. It's eating up the taxpayers' dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids are not getting the proper education because we're not paying the teachers right. We give the teachers nickels and dimes and pennies and tell them to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And they coming out dealing with your little bad, nasty, bad, ugly, little snotty-nosed kids.
Yeah.
Whatever you value, you put your money to it.
That's true.
And if you value your child's education, then you wouldn't have them in a public school system. Mm-hmm. Now listen, because you ignorant and you don't understand. Notice a strong word. You're ignorant and you don't understand the value of a charter school. And the dominant culture put their children in private schools.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, private and charter schools. Charter schools, I am an advocate for because of what they're able to teach and how their curriculum. Get your children out of these public schools. They're corrupt. Yeah. They're politically driven.
Mm-hmm.
And they're molesting your children.
Yeah.
They're raping your children.
Yep.
From their intellectual standpoint.
Yep.
If Chris had that video where the man on ABC13.com is what I want to see, black guy who was selling teacher certification. That is out. That is so not right, and that is important. If you're an educator, you should be hip to this. And I wish we had that video before we close. Is that this is the kind of stuff that happens in our community, and we turn our head to it because it was our community that did. Because our kids are the ones who are vulnerable and susceptible to public education. Most people that make any level of money is not putting their kids in public education. It's the people in the hood.
So that goes back to what I was about to say.
Still being left behind,
Okay, so
uneducated in the 11th grade and reading on the 3rd grade level.
Yeah, he's right.
So I'm gonna throw in something that's gonna cause a twist. Yes, that is completely foul, but that also goes back to pretty much accountability. Why is it always us doing? Let me say it like this. Why do we always have to be the ones doing this foul shit that pretty much puts us in the spotlight?
Because that's how y'all Nicodemus run.
Hey, let me finish. I get that.
Y'all
but it goes back.
Run like
I get you back. I get you back. I get it, but it's still
who keep your children in the back door.
But it comes back to accountability. We want to show the great examples, but we do stuff like this. We want to be held at a higher standard and be more financially responsible, but we do dumb stuff with our money. It comes back to accountability. Yes, teachers need to be paid more, especially with a lot of things that go on, but you got to fix the mindset. Why? Okay, because I can give a person more money, but if they still have the same trashy mindset, they're going back to go to old ways. So I'm really pressing on accountability at the same time. Yes, there needs to be things to be changed in education, of course. And again, I'm in the whole field, so I see those things. But I'm saying take accountability for the actions as well.
But I agree with you. But before they can take accountability for their actions, they have to go to the mind, like what you said, and want to change. They have to desire to change. Because
which goes back to them. That's their choice.
To change, then you have that determination. When you have that determination, you are more open and willing to go into the direction that needs to be gone to be a better individual. But I totally agree with Baker. HISD. I went to HISD school. Brother, they need to be shut down because they are taking advantage of kids that look like me, look like all of us. They're taking advantage, and then not only they're taking advantage, they're doing it in a way where they're stealing money and misappropriating some of the funds in certain different directions.
Well, no, yeah, they doing that, and the school board is corrupt. Listen, the school. Let me call them out. The school board of HISD is a bunch of pimps and hoes. Okay,
that's it.
That serve on the board. They're pimps and hoes.
They just not on the poll.
They're giving contracts. Let me handle it. Y'all want me on this damn show, and they're giving out contracts to their family and their friends. They're pimps and hoes, and they don't care nothing about the education of your kids. Because y'all don't go, because you black people don't go to school board meetings. You don't even go to the teacher parent meeting. You just show up and you push little Ray and you walk into the front door and you let him carry his little dumb self in there with his snotty nose and the butcher knives in his backpack. Okay? Get rid of the system. And you teachers, let me tell you teachers, y'all smart. I thank God for y'all. Y'all unappreciated, unsung, and you getting chicken money. The dope man make more money than the school teacher.
And that is true.
The garbage man make more than the school teachers.
That is true.
No, you think about it. These people that's running these little chicken shacks and starting their own business make more than the school teacher.
That's true.
And in order for you to get to running the business, to get to be something, you got to go through a school teacher to teach you how to read, write, arithmetic, mathematics.
Yep.
And Ray ain't coming to school to learn like he should because he don't see nothing as a mentor. He's coming with pistols in his backpack And he
pants.
got knives, and he probably got dope in there. And y'all got to start checking these little black kids at the door. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I wouldn't trust them.
Mhm.
White people, check these black children. I'm telling you, they come home and they steal their mama's guns and daddy guns and knives, and they come into y'all school to harm your little white children. And y'all got to stop them. Check them Negroes at the door. Check their pockets. Check their backpack.
Now you know some of them white kids are doing the same thing for all them.
Yeah, but I ain't in the white community right now. I'm in your community. I'm talking about the black kids. Pookie and Ray Ray and Joshim and Khan and Javon and all them cons and stuff. Check them. They coming in with the music and take them daggone headsets off their head like Chris got on. They coming in and listen to Sexy Red. When I dip, you dip.
He brought Sexy Red this whole conversation
I put my hand
again.
on your hip. When I dip, you dip. And Lil Dirt and all these convicts, that's their teacher, baby. Mm-hmm. You teach them in the morning. All right?
Well, I will go ahead.
But at night, Lil Dirt.
You said Lil Dirt.
And the rest of them are teaching them. Pew, 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 coming in with my gun. Pew, 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 coming in. Pew, pew, pew.
Well, let me say this.
Out, white people shooting your children. Shut down these schools with these black kids in them.
All right. So let me say this. Everything that you said, and people fail to realize I agree with you. Because you have drug dealers and so much more making way more than teachers when they put so much of an impact into society. I agree with you on that. Now, what I'm getting to trying to get people to understand is this, and keep this in mind. I'm on the Baker's side. That's drug dealers don't put more harm into society, and teachers need to get paid more because they have a bigger impact. But this is what I'm saying. In the structure they have today is this. Yes, it's effed up, but if you change your mindset, because like just having a victim mentality is not going to get it. They don't give a damn. Like we want these things to change. Yes, I agree with that. But learn how to play the game and get ahead. Even though you have to maneuver in certain kind of ways, you have to learn how to do what you do on your part because you have control of that. Will we get changed? Hopefully in the future. But we can change is what we have control of and make the actions. So we can put ourselves in better situations. So I'm not disagreeing with you, but having a victim mentality, wishing for things to happen, is not going to cut it because they don't give a damn. That's what I'm saying.
And it's sad we don't measure up and value our teachers.
We don't.
You got lazy, trifling, able to work, able-bodied men and women who stay at home every day, and they get more money from the government collectively from food stamps, SSI, ABC, all the ABC checks. I just know them letters. ABC, FDC, and all that, and FDC,
all the way A to Z.
And all that. And here the teachers is having to educate their little dumb children. Okay? And the problem is we have to invest in our teachers, bottom line. Seriously. And you good voting people, that's why it's important to vote and vote with an understanding. Why don't you go out there? I don't see y'all holding no signs up talking about free teacher salary.
Right.
Even though they do have a huge impact in all society.
Everybody's
because who's going to teach your kids?
It was discussed about the teacher salary.
Listen,
no candidates have ever discussed teacher salary.
Vote for me. I don't think there's a teacher should be out there making under $125,000 a year.
As much of an impact they have in society and the economy.
I'm telling you, we got the money. We got the money to drop bombs. We got the money to support a fake virus. We got the money to go to war. We got money to give to Ukraine. We got money to give. Listen to me, people. Illegals. Right. We got money to educate illegals. We got money to fund all these types of social programs.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that's overlooked is the school teachers.
All right,
and you want Ray Ray to come out to be a doctor and a nurse. You know Ray Ray ain't designed to be no doctor. Ray Ray gonna sell dope. All Ray Ray need to do is know how to count.
I'm gonna throw I'm gonna throw you alley-oop. So I know we talked about this in private. So of course, when you talk about teacher pay is
Oh,
when
y'all
you
talking
compare it. Oh,
about
wait.
where I'm gonna go pee in public.
This guy right here ain't got no damn sense. Oh
You
my
know, you gotta be careful what you say.
Look, it's raw as hell. All right, so I know I talked to this about. All right, so teachers are not respected as much as they should be in America. But as soon as an educator goes to, let's say, a base or overseas to a different country, their incomes increases. Why? Increases so much higher. In my opinion, I think we got our values effed up in America. So, what do you think about this? Because you can see educators who are originally from America go to different countries and they're
Well,
more
the
respected.
thing about it is the reason why, one of the reasons that I'm familiar with, and I say that I'm familiar with, is the fact that the educators that go overseas get paid more because most people overseas seeking educators to teach them how to speak and write and read English. That is more value overseas than it is here in the States, so they can conduct business or interact in tourism and things of that nature. And I give you a good example. If you go to, say, Japan, they've learned English, but if you look up jobs overseas, you're going to find more of them seeking educators to teach only English at certain grade levels than anything else. And that's where that increase come. Now, another way a educator gets increased for more money is if they apply for the DoD EA, which is the Department of Defense Education, where military bases, like when I was stationed overseas, if you're an educator, if you can get into that system, then you live overseas and you getting paid about that six figures amount, because now you're not getting paid on the level of in the States, you're getting paid on the federal level, which is a GS position. So that's another way people are going overseas to do that, to make those six figures that what Baker is saying. But the difference with educators living and getting paid that amount of money, they're actually doing the work. They're actually educating the kids. They're actually putting a sense of purpose and a goal into the kids to change their lives. And I'm not saying, there are some educators that just go over there because they just want money, and you have some that's here in the States who have no option but to make money because they know that's a constant income, but the desire of educating is not really in them. So there's also that factor that many people need to also look at and understand.
Hey
And I
man,
completely agree with a lot of that and much more. And
man,
it
I forgot.
also,
See, this is why a teacher is
go ahead.
important. I went in there to take a break. These people don't go to commercial sometimes while you got to do that. And I got to shaking them too many times.
Came from the pistol to deliver a message. Go ahead.
But yeah, and that's teachers get paid. You're right. Teachers do get paid better and more overseas, but it's what they're teaching.
Man, look, they can't travel from the north side to the south side unless no to go overseas. Don't bring them. Come on back home. Let's help. China begins at home first. Let's fix it here. Don't always pick up and run. Fix what's here. Quit running, people.
But it goes back to what I was saying.
Get on the
This
board.
country,
Get on the school board and make a difference. Quit letting these crooked politicians that jump from one political event to the other one to become your school board. Get them thugs and them criminals off. They're liars. They're thieves. They're no good. I know you all don't want to hear that. When last time you been to a school board meeting?
okay.
And he's right. And Chris, I just sent you a link that Baker can see that even educators, if you have so many years of being in the school system, you can teach overseas. You'll be part of the Department of Defense. You're still getting your GS pay, but you're staying overseas. And Baker has a point. Most educators don't want to go overseas and teach American kids on the military base, but they miss out on the money, which is their fault, and they miss out on opportunity to learn other cultures. And when you miss out, you reading a book by somebody who's written something that's never lived over there. They only visited over there and really don't know too much about another culture and things of that nature. And so that makes them even remain ignorant versus going and learning.
There you go,
Realize.
Joshua.
But it keeps going back to what I was saying originally. It's like people hate hearing this. It's like almost like survival of the fittest. It's like you have to move in certain ways, even though we want change here. I get that. We are here at all the time. I agree with those things. But we're in a situation, it's like either I keep trying to change a system that don't want to be changed at times, or I make a move myself to put myself in a better position and then possibly come back. Now that I have the income to do something.
Well, people get too complacent, and I think Bacon might agree with that. I mean, when it's like how you define the same. You keep doing the same thing, expecting something different, and so the educators that have that mindset are crazy as a piss ain't, because there's nothing is going to change until they move their ass to make something happen.
Well,
It's not going to
I
move.
don't think we should be so hard on them, Joshim, and I get your point. As much as that, they can't just pack up and go.
Which is hard.
Most of these educators have a love for your children.
Which is another key point. So I'm glad you brought that up.
In order to be what they are, they have to love the kids more than they love the money. And because they love the kids more than they love the money, it ain't easy for them to just disappear because they feel the connection to the kids that they want to educate. And then most, especially when it comes to our culture, and they look at that child as their black child.
And their own. I get that. I understand that. But
I got family members who I'm getting a text. I have family members who volunteer and teach weekly at 2 different schools because of the love for the kids. See, that's what I'm talking about. And we miss that. It is what it is. Listen, black teachers, black women, and any teacher. Go out and open your charter school. It's simple. It don't take a lot. And start educating the kids and pay yourself an executive salary at $200,000 to $300,000 a year, funded by the government, because that's where you get the vouchers from. And they'll fund those instead of eating up the taxpayer money in these old bogus crooked schools. Wheatley, Yates, Cashmere.
Hey, you gotta watch out for Yates.
Hey, you gonna start a whole fire.
And the rest of them, they ought to be shut down and burnt up. And go out, Mr. Teacher. Let me tell you something. Let me give the teacher some help. Go out, ma'am. Go out, sir. You have made a connection with other teachers in your school. Go out. Connect with them teachers. Go get them on the down low and tell them what you're about to do in a sense. And go out and you be the leader and start you a school. Call me. I show you how to do it. I've been a part of several charter schools. Go out and get you a charter school. Get you a government-funded contract where you can get vouchers to pay for everything, and you can pay yourself an executive salary. Most black people don't know this, Mr. White Man, because they're uneducated. But Mr. Black Man, let me talk to the people, Doc. Mr. Black Man, a black woman, go out and get you a charter school, okay? And don't be afraid, because I know you don't have a lot of education in business and understand it, but stay in your lane of teaching classes in school. Let Mr. Baker help you. See, most Negroes who have nonprofits don't even know what they mean. A nonprofit doesn't mean you don't make money. It's a tax exempt.
I'm so glad you said that.
Let me talk, Doc. Pay me for what I know. Let me help these niggas here tonight. Oh, excuse me. Cut that out.
No, we leave this raw.
And what you do is you don't understand this here. I'm going to give you some organizations, you low information voter black people who don't read. You got to read and study, who don't know nothing. You think it's good to handle and go open a nonprofit and you don't even know what the word means. Okay? It means it's nothing but an internal revenue code. It's the companies who give you $1 million in donations so they can get a tax credit. Okay,
that's all. The NFL is nonprofit too.
Now, if you go look at that lady, Susan B. Komen, or whatever his name, with the breast cancer. Okay, she got this one location out in the Woodlands. She got her mama, her daddy, her grandmother, her dog, her cat, her dead uncle, all of them on salary. Okay, they make us $250,000 with government funded contracts. You get it, people?
Oh yeah.
And donations and funds that come in. Listen, I'm gonna tell you the white people's secret. White people know nonprofits is a profit. You get it? They just use
The
it as a
NFL,
code word. You
NFL,
black people, let me handle the
NFL.
people. You black people, you get a nonprofit and you just don't know what it means. Call Mr. Baker, ask Baker, get a t-shirt, ask Baker, he'll tell you. I'm a part of several. I'm on all a whole bunch of major boards. You black people don't know what it means. See, that's why you need to close the public school, because they didn't teach you about nonprofits.
They did not.
You dumb with your good degree and you know everything.
Now I
but
can't.
You don't know nothing.
Now
let me handle my business.
Paul
says in the Bible, much learning has made you ignorant. Now, take it from there.
I got to get you on this. When you say shut down Yates, that's my alma mater, right?
Shut it down.
One thing.
Beaumont Hebert, Westbrook.
Oh, here we go.
The one thing
I
agree.
Fifth Ward school.
But during the time when I was in school, I learned. This is what I learned.
Get it out. Let's talk.
Let him speak.
Bookkeeping skills, how to read the stock market, and things of that nature.
They don't teach it.
Now they don't teach it, but I learned it then at Yates because now the dynamics has changed.
Joshing, today, and you guys got to get this seriously. Chris, you got to get this. And if I can show you, and y'all know the minute device, how I get text messages when I'm on your show, and especially the Friday night show. Thank you. I learned something. Listen to this carefully. I learned something. We educate people more than the public school system. They tune in. Listen, there was a survey. Y'all got to do your homework because y'all not paying me enough out here to do this. Go look at your little liberal news media. They had a report today. The millennials, most of them, they get the news from TikTok and podcasts.
I agree with that. Yep.
No, listen, man, I'm trying to help y'all. Podcasts like this. The little fella, what's his name? 75 Cent, that fella. Not 75 Cent.
I know you're talking about 50. 50 cent. Oh, boy. Lord have mercy.
He said 75.
Man, I don't know. Now, listen. Trump organization offered him $3 million. The Republican National Convention offered him something. Listen carefully. The election, and I know y'all don't talk that on this show, y'all good Christians and educated people. The report this morning was this. Listen carefully. That's why I try to encourage my two brothers, Soul Production and In the Trenches. You guys have to. I'm just a guest on these shows and many.
No,
I want to stay in my lane. Let me finish that, you know. I want to say that y'all are worthy. Y'all are valued. It's like this. They don't value the teacher, nor do they value our voice as a podcaster. So all of a sudden, the election is driven by podcast shows. Joe Rogan and the rest of these people who the liberals and the Republicans and whatever you want to call them have to come to and say, "Can you help me? I'm losing." Anytime you got 197 million people following you got to vote. And it's not that. If you got 10,000 supporting you, 10,000 people.
Platforms.
All right. 10 represent, there's an average to mean there's 50,000 people who see you, if you know how this stuff works. You may not be getting the algorithm popping. It will pop. That's other stuff you need to do in the back office to make that happen. Listen to me carefully. Y'all matter, Doc. You just got to be consistent. You get it?
Oh
That
yeah,
that was in the back line now is in the front line.
that's true.
Because we have on podcasts and these shows like this have more listeners than the local
TV and news networks.
mainstream media, because the millennials and the Gen Zs and the niggas and Nicodemus, they don't listen to they listen, they don't watch TV, man. They go into podcast. And this morning, if you go to y'all need to keep up with this, man. The man that fell out. His diabetes didn't kick in. His sugar went down. Get him some sugar. You need some milk. You need milk.
Black
This good
descent.
stuff. This
Reset your connection. You went black.
Come back,
You
Josh.
messy as hell.
Come back,
oh,
Josh.
you
Don't
messy
faint
as hell.
in adversity.
You're
Don't
about
faint.
to come back.
Come on back. Lazarus.
Oh my god.
Rise from the internet. Let him go.
Oh.
Let him go, internet. Weak signal. You shouldn't be in DC with a bunch of lip. Come on back.
God.
Don't so Chris,
Lord have mercy.
you guys are valued. You understand? You're valued. I value it because people listen to this stuff. This is where they get their source. This is where they get their
Absolutely.
And they meet. And I know we got, what time is it? I know we got to go, Chris, but it's all, you always do such a wonderful job. And don't think it not strange. They hear you. There he is. His sugar went down. I want to say to y'all, you don't know how important these shows are. And one thing you have to do with this young generation, if you're going to make a difference in their lives, I'm going to call you guys school teachers. Okay? Because y'all bring on guests that is unsung, that hadn't been heard. He done fell out again. He's not making that insulin right. He got to turn his, he's a diabetic, and he's not turning that insulin pump on right.
Oh, man.
And he put too much insulin and he hit that button. That's what happened.
And he went out.
Sugar, and the sugar's crashed. And see, he's faint.
You
and he'll come back. He'll come back later. Stuff. I know it. We talked about that. His sugar. He got a sugar pump, insulin pump.
Sugar. Oh my God.
Yeah, he can't handle the truth.
You wrong as hell.
But Josh, Chris, I say to you, you have to keep doing what you're doing, because there you go. Hey man, I know I was telling the people, Josh, that you got an insulin pump and you fall out from time to time. And you got to adjust. You had learned how to adjust your insulin pump. But I say to you guys are doing a great job. Listen, the mainstream media now have podcasters on there. They're calling the election. Teachers, listen to these people. You need to call and send Chris a message and Josh a message, and you need to get on these shows and start airing out what you want to become public. Because here's the thing is that these shows are highly populated shows and people are watching them. The young people don't turn on the TV. They don't have TV. They have a doodle.
Don't care about it. Hulu, and Netflix, and all that other
Netchicks or something. Is it Netchicks?
You saying Netchicks.
Netchicks.
Netflix. Oh God.
One of them, Doc. And they don't watch the mainstream media. I watch all the news sources and I take and marry them together. And let me tell you, I celebrate you teachers. I understand. And if you want to get your voice heard, it's these type of shows you need to be on. If you could connect with these people. And I say to you, Chris, and to Joshim, y'all got to keep doing what you're doing, you know. And someone texted me now saying, Baker, you're so right. Let me read it. Baker, absolute when it comes to nonprofit. Our people do not understand the value of a nonprofit and how to properly manage. Right.
But you know,
okay,
but the reason why they don't know nonprofit is what you and I, Baker, have discussed in the past and we agree on, because we don't agree about everything together. But the fact that how everything is in the book, and because
in the book and they don't read.
Look in the book to read to get the information. That's one main reason why they don't know.
All right, so let me put this out. Let me speak on this. So I agree, and like everything is going on. What I'm also trying to say is this: put this element in a situation where, of course, educators are not getting paid as the value that they put in the impact into community. How about you do this? You work the system. You take the money that you would make from that job. You invest in yourself. And if you want to open your own charter, you take the money you invest in yourself into businesses, sell products, services, whatever. Now you have more additional income. Now, if you want to open up your own school, and you have the funds to through your own investments or real estate property. Now you're putting things more in your way. You're not looking for them for a handout. Now you got income coming in through your own assets. Now you can build your own schools. Now you're like, I don't need your help anymore. I have my own income. Now I can establish on my own what I want to put in the curriculum. I can tell you what I want to put in our own communities for education because I don't need your money anymore. That is the biggest push what I'm trying to say right
Chris,
now.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Because if you
But
use your
understand this here, Chris, if I had the time to jump up from this desk and go into my office space here, another space, I will pull out you some photos that you would not believe, where I'm a part of so many organizations I serve. But let's just take it for one point. In Jamaica, I used to do a crusade, and I'm not shining this light to get any credit from nobody. I used to do a crusade every year. I did it for 14 to 15 years, every year in Jamaica. And I would go and teach, preach, and had a crew. We bring all kind of stuff that was allowed, toiletries. I love me some Jamaica. And not only that, I would go and support some of the schools in Jamaica that didn't have nothing. And you would see me in the field with a whole lot of kids taking pictures because I donated my money to these schools in Jamaica. I got the video. I got the photos. Why? Because they were going to schools that didn't have windows, that didn't have computers, that didn't have laptops. And the kids would walk without disclosing our location. Chris, from where you are, they would walk to where Jashim is at, home. Literally, I have that stuff. I'm passionate. I did that for a long time. And I'm saying this to make one simple point, what Chris just said about investing and taking your money. I'm not bucking what Chris said. I get it. But why spend your money when there's money available for you through the nonprofit to get it for nothing? All you got to do is meet the minimum qualification. Now listen to this. I did it as ministry, but you can do it as business. And the people who are giving away the money, they got it for you. And that is this government. It's your money. You pay taxes to the school district to better your kids. You get it? Mm-hmm. But then there's money. The Democrats don't want this. The Republicans have generated tons of money, and they're advocates of charter schools. They have proven to be successful. Your kids is not going to go to school at a charter school and go in one day and as a man and come out as a transgender.
Right.
Talk, Baker. Talk, Baker. Talk. Charter school ain't going to have a woman coming in and she's coming out with her breast cut off because she want to be a man. Mm-hmm. Which goes against what most black people believe. Now, you can fire me and take your check back on this show. And you too, Joshim, if y'all don't believe that.
Oh, no, I believe
you
that.
Wouldn't want your children to go to school on Monday and come back and say, you send him there as a little boy, and he come back and he says, I want to cut off and castrate my dingaling.
And then turn around and say that you believe in God and all that other stuff. And then you go.
It's the real deal. And you got this bunch of liberals, and you got a whiners, and you got these people. But they don't look. They got a gay agenda, but they don't have an agenda to raise the teacher salary. They want to promote these sissies. I'm old school. Let me talk since y'all paying me. Let me talk so you can get your money's worth. You got these sisters up teaching our kids it's okay to masturbate. It's okay to castrate your breast. It's okay to cut off your dingaling to be who you are. when y'all a bunch of sisters sitting there, and I'm gonna get on. I'm mad now. I'm mad as hell. Y'all got me not got me. In the same way, I don't know why y'all don't want to do it, but I want to handle some of these old weak punkish pastors.
Oh,
We got to talk about these churches too one time, but we got to educate our children. Send your boy to school on Monday. By the time he get to Wednesday, he got a coochie. Send your daughter to school on Monday. By the time she get home Wednesday, because they allow it now, castration, and she can cut her breasts out, her breasts or titties out, and don't want to be no woman. What the hell is wrong with you? You need to see a psychiatrist. Leave it alone. Get rid of me. I don't care. Cancel me. I ain't looking for no job. I ain't looking for no other shows to be on.
You have
Get me out. Run me away. I'm sick of y'all.
Totally agree with you.
Y'all got to tell these people this. And quit being cute. That's the problem with the system. And these school systems, they want men playing in women's sports. I'm not for that stuff. Now let me go politically, and we gonna end this show because I'm getting mad. Y'all got my nigga up in me. Woke my nigga up.
Oh,
y'all got that calling orange. Don't you vote for that devil?
Oh God!
Don't you vote for that demon?
All right. With that said,
no, nothing. See, I know where y'all was at. I know how to pick your pocket. You call me, you want me to be on this show and talk sweet about the education system. The education system been corrupt. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about their curriculum. What is their curriculum?
The curriculum really is to make sure that it's a pipeline to go to the jailhouse.
No, and I will say this: even educators don't like
this homosexual group
let me put this out there too, because you actually have educators out there that don't like the curriculum. The thing is, the state forces it. They force a certain curriculum by the state that they have to follow. I know. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying you have educators that don't like the curriculum that's forced as well.
I'm sick of these.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm sick of sissies.
Oh, he's right out.
Don't stop me. I don't care. Baker. I'm not going to confirm. Maybe this is the wrong show for me. But Jashim, I hope you've been gone forever out of the country. Let me handle you.
I'm gonna tell you this much.
Lost your luster.
I'll tell you this much. I'm on the same boat with you. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm tired of pushing.
Be careful saying that, because my boat is sinking. Because I'm by myself on this. Let me hear you say.
You know what?
Sick of sissies.
I'm sick of sissies.
Chris, say it.
Fuck them sissies.
We're sick of these sissies.
Because you know what?
We're sick of parades. We sick of pride.
I'm sick and tired of them.
We sick of you teaching our kids it's okay. I'm tired
of that.
It's not
okay.
Parents, don't put your kids in public school where they're telling them they can cut their breasts and their ding-a-ling off.
Oh, God.
Your mom and your dad and your grandma and Mimo and Papa and all of them are rolling in the grave.
You ain't lying. Because if you was born to walk on 3 legs, not 2, then you need to stay on 3 legs.
And let me go on record, because y'all ain't going to let me on no more because I'm messing up. I'm not homophobic, people. True. I have some of my best friends are homosexuals. And they respect the fact that I respect them as an individual.
Exactly.
And I'm not judgmental of them. They don't push their agenda on me.
And a lot of people don't understand that part.
People you would ever know, or sometime I'm gonna tell you this here, are some of the homosexuals. They got more money than most of you broke welfare Negroes.
Yeah, that's true.
They got plenty of money, and I ain't trying to get rid of them. Mm-hmm. But they don't push their agenda on me.
I'm glad you said that.
They call me. This is what they call me. They call me their personal preacher. Cause you get it? That's what they call me. Wake up, people. Mm. Let's support the school teachers. Let's get them more funding. Let's get them more money. Go out and if you vote right. But listen, I'm going to say it on this show. So productive. I'm going to make an announcement. I'm going to make an announcement. If not sooner. Now, the school district big dog, his name is Miles. He's about as crooked as a crowbar. If you look him up, he's connected to non-charter schools.
Mm-hmm.
Crooked as a crowbar. Crooked.
He already
I
had
say crooked.
HID sign that bogus ass contract. and
He
take
is
the money.
crooked. He crooked. I mean, he's crooked. Slap your mama. He's crooked.
Not slap your mama.
Here's the thing, people. Even the liberals among us know the charter schools are the way to go. Mm-hmm. And guess what? You black churches running around shouting and speaking in other tongues and jumping over pews and singing and keeping people in there all day long and stuff, telling people to come to Jesus. You need to tell them to come to your charter school during Monday and Friday, because the government has released funds for charter schools to be started in public in churches. Wake up, you dumb preachers.
He had to catch himself. I feel like I'm about to have a.
I told man,
Chris, I have to give you for your intellectual being and your young man. Joshim is a senior citizen, and I am too. But Chris, you're young. You have an audience. You have a platform. See, people don't know. I follow you everywhere you go. You're a poet. You got to speak about this. I can't reach that generation. You can.
Oh, I speak on stage.
You can schedule these events, and to have a show like this, you did a good job. Because then you bring in like Uncle Donald, and you bring in.
You're gonna speak
Uncle
your mind.
Because we ain't got nothing to do. We tell it like it is. I ain't scared of none of them.
Clearly not.
I ain't scared of none of you preachers out there, because I tell the preacher code. Don't mess.
He ain't
with
never
me.
scared.
I tell how you preachers preach on Sundays and be somewhere else. I'm gonna tell it. I got politicians on the school board right now. I know. I'm gonna tell it.
Okay, so to respect everybody's time, because I'm feel like I'm about to do part 2 for this, because it seems like this one loaded everybody up.
You and that other fella y'all
I'm gonna do a part 2 on this one. So we're gonna play the music. So we're gonna start with you. Just tell them where they can find you at.
Oh man, you always find not just myself, but the co-host, my main man, Baker, at In the Trenches every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on In the Trenches podcast. Make sure you don't just put In the Trenches, you add the word podcast, and you spell the as T-H-A, not T-H-E. So make sure you understand that. All right. But also, too, check out our website. We have the hottest merchandise out there, from the cups to the Baker's collection of these different quotes and things of that nature. So, hey, and check us out on all our social media. Then like I say, don't be bitter, be better, and then execute is our motto.
All right, Becky, where they can find you and leave your closing
Come on,
comment.
y'all know my quote. You know where you can find me. You can find me minding my business.
Lord have mercy. He said what he said.
Chris, I do not take. Listen, let's bear with me in my folly, like the apostle said. Bear with me in my foolishness. I don't take it lightly, Chris. Okay, when you pick that phone up and you're so smooth and eloquent and just, I turned down so many events and shows to be on. I can't turn you down ever. And I can prove it. Call me on the carpet. Okay, that's how I like to do. That's in the Bible. Malachi, if you're going to talk, he says, prove me herewith. I mean, call me on the carpet and see if I'm lying. Mm-hmm. How many opportunities I get to be on places and I say there's a conflict in schedule. That's how I leave everything. I hope they're not watching.
God damn.
But because I know if I'm coming on Soul Production, that's why it's important, people out there that's listening to us and that's going to see this later, that you do this. Like and share and subscribe to Soul Production. Not only that, you got the host of the fastest growing podcast, In the Trenches, INTHA.
The
podcast.
Yes.
They're hot.
Say it to in the back end because they forgot.
They're like a hot, let me mark it for y'all. They're like a hot pocket. They're like a hot pocket. They're like a hot joint lit up just at the beginning. Now, I don't smoke. I celebrate you, brother, and I celebrate you, black men. And they're not a Johnny come lately. I think there's, I read an article. I thought I had it.
Uh-oh.
There's a podcast, a new podcast that started every 38 seconds. There's a new podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Every 38
seconds.
What the hell? You know what that is? I don't know if y'all look at it. That means that there are people, they don't understand this part, who are now exercising their constitutional right.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech.
Yep.
Freedom of press. And I told the producer of In the Trenches and their staff, we gotta get you your press pass, Chris. Okay? That's very important. I want to say to you guys, what you're doing, don't take it lightly. It may cost you a lot of money to get good people like you know. Take it not lightly. The day will come when it becomes what it's supposed to be in God's timing. But right now, the people need to hear what we're saying. Chris, this was a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but people need to hear it, and I hope people understand it. And I just like being on here. So again, where to find me? Find me minding my
own business. And
hey,
appreciate
Chris,
that.
also, too, I want to make sure I announce that it's coming up soon. In the Trenches is coming close to its 100th episode. Coming soon. Coming soon. 100th episode before we go into season 2.
Are we doing something great?
We're gonna come up with something great for the listeners and the watchers for that 100th. So it's gonna be big. We get with Baker, and we're gonna have something big coming.
Let's talk about that.
Awesome. All right, as you always know, it's your host, C. Holmes, as always, of Street Topics and owner of Soul Productions, bringing you live conversations like this, even though you may be afraid of talking about them. But we ain't scared. Baker ain't scared. These gentlemen, hell no, they ain't scared. They're going to bring it to you raw, as you just heard. And if you don't want to hear it, oh well, you won't hear it anyway. But make sure you subscribe and keep things going, because that's how we keep this going, like the voice of the people. So what can I leave y'all with today? Make the money and don't let the money make you.
Is that Players Club theme?
You caught on to it. All right, that's enough. Catch y'all next time, and peace.